Ever notice how sugar cravings hit hardest at night, even when you weren't hungry earlier? After dinner, after a long day, suddenly sweets feel almost impossible to resist. It's easy to assume this is just lack of discipline or habit, but nighttime cravings are often driven by biology, not weakness. Your energy levels, hormones, sleep pressure, and eating patterns throughout the day all shape what your brain wants in the evening. When these signals are out of balance, the body pushes for quick fuel and instant reward. In this video, we'll explore the most common reasons you crave sugar at night and what those cravings may actually be telling you. Throughout the day, your body constantly uses glucose as its primary fuel, especially for brain activity and physical movement. If meals are irregular, too small, or dominated by rapidly digested carbohydrates, blood sugar can rise and fall repeatedly. By evening, energy reserves may be depleted, and the body begins signaling for quick replenishment. This is when cravings intensify, particularly for foods that provide fast glucose, such as sweets and refined snacks. Unlike gradual hunger that develops over hours, these cravings can feel sudden and urgent because the brain is highly sensitive to drops in available fuel. After a long day of work, stress, and decision-making, the demand for stable energy remains high, while supply becomes inconsistent. The body responds by prioritizing immediate sources rather than balanced nutrition, pushing you toward sugar because it can enter the bloodstream rapidly. Dinner does not always resolve this if it lacks sufficient protein, fiber, or fat to stabilize glucose levels. In some cases, a high-carbohydrate evening meal can trigger another spike, followed by a drop later in the night, renewing the desire for something sweet even after eating. This cycle trains the brain to associate nighttime with rapid refueling. Stabilizing blood sugar through consistent meals and balanced macronutrients during the day often reduces these late cravings without requiring strict restriction. When energy availability remains steady, the brain no longer interprets evening hours as a deficit that must be corrected immediately. In many cases, nighttime sugar cravings are not random indulgence, but a delayed response to how energy was managed earlier in the day. Many nighttime sugar cravings are not caused by weakness, but by delayed hunger. When food intake during the day is too low, the body does not simply forget about those missing calories. Instead, it compensates later, often when external demands decrease and attention shifts inward. Skipping meals, eating very small portions, or avoiding carbohydrates entirely can keep blood sugar suppressed for hours, increasing stress hormones that help maintain function in the short term. By evening, these compensatory mechanisms begin to lose effectiveness and hunger signals intensify. The brain seeks rapid energy to restore balance, which makes sugary foods particularly appealing because they require minimal digestion and provide immediate glucose. Fatigue further amplifies this effect by weakening impulse control, making it harder to resist foods that promise quick relief. Even individuals who felt little hunger earlier may suddenly experience strong urges once they finally slow down. This pattern is common in restrictive dieting, where daytime discipline gives way to nighttime overeating. It is not a failure of willpower, but a predictable biological response to insufficient intake. Protein and fiber deficits can worsen the effect because they reduce satiety, allowing hunger to accumulate unnoticed. When meals are balanced and adequate throughout the day, appetite remains more stable and evening cravings often diminish naturally. In this sense, nighttime sugar desire may be less about what you eat at night and more about what your body did not receive earlier. Ensuring consistent nourishment prevents the internal deficit that later demands rapid correction. By the end of the day, both the body and the brain are depleted. Hours of work, decision-making, stress, and social interaction consume mental resources that are not unlimited. Self-control relies on the same cognitive systems that manage attention and problem-solving, and when these systems are fatigued, resisting temptation becomes significantly harder. At the same time, the brain seeks quick energy to restore alertness. Sugar provides a rapid source of glucose, which can temporarily improve mood and mental clarity, making it especially appealing when exhaustion sets in. Sleep pressure also increases in the evening, further reducing motivation for effortful behaviors, such as cooking a balanced meal or choosing less palatable foods. Highly rewarding snacks require minimal preparation and deliver immediate gratification, which aligns with the brain's priority to conserve effort while maximizing reward. Stress compounds this effect by elevating cortisol, which can intensify cravings for calorie-dense foods. Importantly, this pattern is not simply a matter of weak discipline. It reflects the brain's shift from long-term goals toward short-term relief when energy is low. Studies consistently show that people make more impulsive food choices when tired compared to when well rested. Once sugar is consumed, the brief improvement in mood reinforces the behavior, increasing the likelihood of repetition on subsequent evenings. Reducing fatigue through adequate sleep, regular breaks, and balanced daytime nutrition often diminishes these cravings without deliberate restriction. When mental and physical energy are sufficient, the brain no longer needs emergency fuel, and decision-making becomes more aligned with long-term intentions rather than immediate comfort.
Not all cravings originate from physical need. Many are learned patterns reinforced over time. When a specific behavior is repeated in the same context, the brain begins to anticipate it automatically. If sweets are regularly consumed after dinner, during television, or as a way to relax, environmental cues alone can trigger desire, even in the absence of hunger. This process is driven by reward pathways involving dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with motivation and pleasure. The anticipation of a rewarding experience can be as powerful as the reward itself, meaning the urge may arise before any food is actually consumed. Over time, the brain links evening hours with comfort and treats, transforming what was once a choice into an expectation. Breaking this pattern can feel uncomfortable because the predicted reward does not occur, creating a sense that something is missing. Routine plays a major role as well. Consistent daily schedules make habits more automatic and less conscious. Stress and fatigue amplify these learned responses because the brain defaults to familiar behaviors that previously produced relief. Importantly, this mechanism operates independently of calorie needs. Even a large, balanced dinner may not eliminate the craving if the cue-response cycle remains intact. Replacing the routine with an alternative activity can gradually weaken the association, allowing new patterns to form. This does not require eliminating pleasure, only shifting its source. Understanding that nighttime sugar cravings can be conditioned responses rather than true hunger helps reduce self-blame and clarifies why willpower alone often fails. The brain is not malfunctioning. It is following a script that repetition has made automatic. Nighttime sugar cravings can also be a signal that the body is struggling with sleep pressure and circadian timing. As evening progresses, the brain prepares for rest by increasing melatonin and gradually reducing alertness. If sleep has been insufficient in previous nights or the schedule is irregular, this transition becomes unstable. The body may interpret fatigue as an energy shortage rather than a need for rest, prompting a search for quick fuel to stay awake. Sugar provides a rapid increase in glucose, temporarily boosting alertness and mood, which can feel helpful when drowsiness sets in too early or when tasks still need to be completed. At the same time, sleep deprivation alters hormones that regulate appetite, increasing ghrelin and reducing leptin, thereby intensifying hunger signals even when energy needs are met. Late-night eating further disrupts sleep by activating digestion and elevating body temperature, which can delay the onset of deep rest. This creates a self-reinforcing cycle. Poor sleep increases cravings, and late sugar intake worsens sleep quality. Exposure to bright light from screens compounds the issue by suppressing melatonin, prolonging wakefulness while fatigue continues to build.
Many people interpret this state as simple hunger, when it is actually a conflict between the body's need for rest and the brain's attempt to maintain alertness. Improving sleep consistency and reducing late stimulation often diminishes nighttime cravings without strict dietary changes. When the body trusts that rest is coming, it stops seeking emergency energy and allows appetite signals to return to a more natural pattern.